Skyrim remains divided, as its kings, jarls, and leaders all continue to back no single ruler. Western and Eastern Skyrim are the most powerful entities, but continue to contend each other's claim and push their own. A moot was held again recently to attempt to choose a new leader, but failed when both the King of Winterhold and the King of Eastern Skyrim tied one another in the vote. Whiterun, like many others, sits as an independent kingdom, having not formally sworn fealty to any of the contenders. King Torag has sought over his long life to be a bastion of diplomacy and level-headedness, though with his old age this is quickly fading. Knowing well that his time is coming and that his trip to Sovngarde will begin soon, he prepares himself for what is to come and plans to meet death on his own terms. His son and heir is a good man, diplomatic like his father, but dealing with the problem of his own inheritance, as his wife is anything but loyal. Enemies continue to make themselves known around Skyrim, as there is rumors of deadric worship becoming widespread, the Minotaur worshippers in the Reach uniting, and Whiterun in the East preparing for war. Skyrim must find unity, but whether this will be achieved without civil war is still uncertain. This is a roleplay game of Elder Kings 2, a mod for CK3. Greetings.
Greetings to you, King. How you been?
I am not well. You can see that the King Torag is pretty much dying. He's on his last leg right now.
King Torag, I'm so sorry.
I've had a long life, my friends. I've lived for many years. I would ask a favor of you in my final days. I would ask you, look after my children. They've gotten themselves into all manners of messes and complications. When I am not here and gone, do your best to look after them. I fear for the worst.
I know. Like my mother did to you. She would always be with you, even though in Sovngarde.
We'll see each other soon enough. And take care of yourself, Ulfric. I know that, much like myself and all other, you have your demons, but remember to take care of yourself, my friend.
Aye.
In that case, Ulfric, I would ask your leave. I'm planning on... I've always wanted to make the trip to High Hrothgar, and I know I've never been capable of it, and I know I'm still not capable of it, but to try like a true Nord, something I've failed in my whole life, I'm going to attempt to make the walk of the steps with my guards, and I do not expect to come back. Look after my son. Promise me this.
I promise you this, my king, I will.
At this point, obviously King Torag is dying. High King Torag is currently dying. He's been frail his whole life. He can barely walk at this point. And he's gonna go start walking up High Hrothgar, or he's gonna die, because we are dying right now. So he is going to die making the trip of the stairs up to High Hrothgar. So that's what he's doing. In the Hall of Whiterun, you will find Prince Stiovar. He's refusing to sit on the throne until news that his father dies reaches him.
Oh, so he's he's being regent, right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
actually, King Torag is no longer fucking dying. What the fuck?
He's back.
He's just walking up High Hrothgar right now, and he's got his health back, I guess. Jesus, okay. But anyway, yeah, he's the regent. So, greetings, King Harold. It's good to see you after the moot. I'm Prince Stiovar. Welcome to Whiterun. In my father's stead, I am in charge and will likely, if he does not return from the mountain, be the next king of Whiterun. Welcome. What can I do for you?
I wanted to speak with you about your father's choice and the instability that might be caused because of it. I respect your father as a very honest man and one that holds true to our traditional ways. However, voting for a king whose son is a known murderer throughout the land may cause further issues down the line that a lot of people seem to look to the now and not to the future of Skyrim.
I cannot speak for my father and know his mind directly, but we have spoken on this matter many times. His original plan, I believe, was to stay neutral. The issue is, I think, he's not a vengeful man, but I know he does hold resentment towards the Flamehair family for their actions in destabilizing the balance of Valheim. I know that he also worries as to the future of the United Skyrim underneath the Flamehairs. He, much like myself, does wonder if there is not perhaps some truth to what was suggested regarding the parentage of their family. Something that, Silver kind of looks down, know very well about. Illegitimate children create complications, I'm sure you understand. And the worry for both him and myself was that a family whose continued existence despite their name will always be questioned on birthright is a danger. It is also perhaps, I think, a good idea, and he saw it this way, that a new dynasty take hold as both Western Skyrim and the Cursed Braids and Eastern Skyrim and the Flamehairs will always be at each other's throat. Though I know he obviously did not wish it for himself, nor I for mine.
Neutral king would have been the king of the Reach. Not the Reach, the Rift.
I agree. King Borvir is, in many ways, young.
Yes, he is.
He does have the temperament for it. The other one would be King Hackfield of Falkreath. He would also have been an option, though his mind is, I know, beginning to...
He is a great warrior, but he is a hostile king.
His mind is beginning to fall with time. There is no debating that. We are at the same place we were when the split originally happened, wherein there is no good leader for Skyrim. We have a collection of poor choices.
I would have supported your father had a true reason been given. I'm a man of tradition and honor. It was
Whiterun has existed within Skyrim for hundreds of years as a middle ground, a crossroads of sorts where there is a degree of neutrality. For us to become High Kings would destroy this tradition and destroy the place wherein conversations can be had and a middle ground can be forged. My father, and what I hope to do myself, work tirelessly with the kings and jarls of Skyrim to keep the peace. If we enter into the political arena at such a high level, this will no longer ever again be possible. And that's not something that my father nor I wish.
That's a very honorable stance to take, and it's one that not many men would. It speaks a lot on your character. And I understand that your father was angry at Feltheim for swearing to Eastern Skyrim, but you have to understand also the gravity of the situation. He too is a man of tradition and followed the true king that he followed. You know, your father may not have chosen it and wanted to remain neutral. He wanted the legitimacy of a strong Skyrim. Well, with that, I will go back to Bruma.
My shepherd's young Ingokning to my side, clearly racked by anxiety. My lord, I am sure someone in this kingdom is out to get me. I have no evidence, but Spasek Lenman Guruk, for his reputation for villainy, comes to my throat. He's a warlike courtier. I beg you, imprison Garuk and make a stop to this madness. Well, without any evidence, there's no way he'd imprison him, so... Alderman Haining, who has clearly been working himself up about something, greets me. But King the dogs of Whiterun think they are better than us, he spews, crackling with haughty jokes each market day. Mayor Scavnir, the cold-hearted knave, he needs to be put in his place. Those damnable fools made to respect Battleborn, the greatest town in Whiterun. Well, we're going to tell him to stop it, obviously. And we are going to succeed because we're very diplomatic. The new petitioner is an extremely angry Lindman Elgrim of Stepwatch. With the briefest of deference shown, Lindman Elgrim relays that some of my knights, led by Ulrika, have passed through the Lind of Stepwatch recently. They have looted, pillaged, and despoiled the villages and farms of Stepwatch. It is an absolute travesty, my king. I will not stand for it, declares Lindman Elgrim. What shall I do? We'll tell him to return it all. You see a haggard figure limping into your throne room. It's King Toreg.
Guards, fetch him something nice to eat and drink.
Thank you. Hi, King Ferengar. Would you mind getting a seat for me? I apologize, but I cannot stand for long.
Yes, please be seated. How can I help you?
I am here to
Noble.
speak with you on the outcome of the moot. It appears that what was meant to unite us has even made us more divided. You've heard tell of King Lokir dying, I hope?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have been away dealing with the orcs of the north. They were, but yes, I've heard, and I am saddened that he has died.
It is a tragedy, as he was the one we did decide for the High King title. Though the Easterners did not accept it, his death and his murderous son in charge makes things even more illegitimate. I've come here to
Yes.
speak plainly with you about the future of Skyrim. Things are getting dangerous, and I suspect that we will reach a breaking point all too soon. What are your plans for the future?
If you're asking if I will strike or start a war with Eastern Skyrim, no. I called the moot in hoping that we might be able to unite us, but it does seem that the fates, or if the gods wish to Skyrim to stay divided, have forced our hand. With the King of Winterhold's death, the only thing we could do is host another moot, but I like you, I age, I do not know if a moot is even going to work anymore, to be honest. I will not lie to you.
It's been almost 40 years since Skyrim divided. There are many born now who have lived well into adulthood and never lived under a united Skyrim. We are quickly reaching that point, I'm afraid.
Yes, I had hoped. I'm of the personal conviction that if the Flame Hairs took back power, not all would be happy with their role. I do not want to see Skyrim erupt into another civil war that would see Nord fighting Nord.
If I'm going to be honest, I still do seek peace, but it is appearing more and more like we will not be united. And as such, we need to begin to make plans. I expected myself to die this year. I was on the edge of death itself when I made the trip off High Hrothgar, where the gods saw fit to give me life to live a while longer. And there in a moment of clarity, I realized that despite my whole adult life wishing for a united, peaceful Skyrim, my time has gone, and many others will be gone soon enough, and I must secure a future for my family. It must be one where we continue to hopefully act as a diplomatic source for Skyrim to be able to alleviate its burdens. I also must look after the future of the Ingvar dynasty. And is why the second matter I'm here for is one of a much more complicated manner. You know well that several of your vassals who pledged fealty to your father did so when the High King died, and we were divided into East and West. However, they are lands that have historically been under Whiterun, which you know well.
Yes, you talk of the clans that are Falmor.
Well, Farmore and Rorikstead, but I understand that Rorikstead is very close with Western Skyrim. So yes, I am here specifically to talk about Faramore. And I wish to ask you yourself if you plan, if things continue at their present course, to keep them under your own holdings, or if you will allow them to be returned to Whiterun.
I will not act like Eastern Skyrim acted when I have heard about what Eastern Skyrim did when you wanted the lands. I believe that if head clan Fumgar of Falmor wishes to return to Whiterun, I will not be like Eastern Skyrim. I will not stop it. If they wish to truly be with Whiterun, then they have my blessing.
I thank you for your words, High King Ferengar, and with that I will take my leave. Farewell.
Yeah.
This may be the last time we ever speak. I wish you and your house good fortune.
Yes.
I just don't know where this is going to go at this point. I mean, like, we gotta stay, in a way, neutral. There's no way our family would not dislike the Flame Hairs at this point. They basically just tried to strong-arm us into supporting them by using a neutral, like, territory as leverage to force us to follow them, which really would have pissed off Torrig. He wasn't there, but his ambassador was and told him everything, so there's no way Torrig does not actively dislike Eastern Skyrim at this point. But he has to be neutral, because their family is neutral. We're the diplomats of Skyrim, so we need to try and keep things somewhat stable here. Greetings!
I come from the Rift. We have much to discuss regarding Falkreath.
Falkreath. I just came from there myself. I just barely got back to Whiterun. What do you wish to speak of?
I apologize for that. It is come to our attention that Falkreath is following a heretical deity being that of
Vermina.
Vermina. And it is also the belief of the Rift that they have cursed our king with terrible nights.
Yeah.
There's heresy. I just spoke with King Hackfield. He told me nothing of his conversion. That the place that's the stronghold did seem a little bit odd, but I thought that was the orcs' influence still there.
Yeah.
The
We
cult of
believe,
Vermina.
Well, as you may know, he holds a certain artifact, that being the
Skull of corruption.
yes, the skull of corruption.
It plagues various people with terrible dreams, night terrors for days on end, as their I think it harvests their good dreams. I forget how it works. That's this.
So we believe that, however, his son is redeemable, and that is currently would be the true heir to the throne, as to say.
Prince Heimskir. He's a good man. A very good man. They're our closest allies. I fought with King Hackfield many times. My daughter and him good friends. My son and him good friends. You're sure that this artifact is corrupting him?
We believe so. We understand this this troubles you. It troubles us as well, as we, in the early days of the Orcish Wars, had supported his father in defeating them.
Much
See.
did my father.
I find this situation to be a shocking one, and something must be done. You come here with a plan and a proposal, or only
Well,
warning?
We are not warning. We are simply discussing with you because we understand that you are a longtime ally of their realm. But we do believe that it is the best for Southern Skyrim for him to be deposed and his son be put in place.
Is there no way that we cannot take this artifact from him and return his sanity? Is he truly lost? Is there no other way?
Well, the issue arises with the fact that we believe he's already taken hostile actions against the King of the Rift as well as others with said artifact.
But if it is corrupting him, then this is not truly the king.
This is true. How may you suggest we, separate his artifact from him then?
I have heard tell that he rarely leaves his stronghold. I do not wish to slaughter the men and women of Whiterun in order to simply... I would agree, but I would say, let us attempt to take the king alive, and if we can, destroy this artifact and attempt to remove his corruption. If his mind is too far gone, we abdicate him. But if there is any hope, let us treat him as the man we all knew when we were younger.
The Rift agrees to such. What say you, Bruma?
My father would probably agree with that as well.
Very well, then I believe we are all in agreement.
Two of my vassals are pushing one another, jostling to reach my throne first. Linbin Alvor bows before me. My lord, murder is wanton in city streets throughout Kingdom of Whiterun. It would be civilizing if we institute a ban on townspeople bearing arms. We'll never agree to that. We'll always keep our weapons. We're Nords. Before the court is underway, my chancellor pulls me aside. To my surprise, she is brandishing a garnished sock. My lord, there will so many attending your court. I knew you are somewhat challenged in remembering every face and from whence it hails. I proposed a solution. We require all of the court to wear a dress which includes a local style recognizable to all. She foisted a nose ring at me. For those without clear regional fashions, I've taken the liberty of hiring a tailor who can suggest some regional garments for them to wear. Yeah, we'll be fine. We're very diplomatic. My vassal Linman Rowlov approaches the throne with an old man in tow. My liege king, he spouts, my friend Hammurabae seeks the honor of serving in your retinue of shield things. Give him the opportunity to prove himself. He's not very competent, though. He's also very old. But he's our vassal, so we'll do it as a favor to him. Also, we can afford a bit more here. Let's go ahead and give lavish food. We'll upgrade the fashions and lodgings of our court. The latest work of my vassal, Lindman Alvor, has become all the rage at court of late. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind, and Alvor has publicly dedicated it to me. The King of Whiterun, the mightiest men, must leave this earth, no matter what realms they have given birth, and hope only for memory's grace, that their histories find true place. So far, I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. We'll say we like it, I guess. Did you make a deal with Eastern Skyrim?
Deal?
Yes, he formed Skyrim.
I said that I would no longer see myself. I said that I said that we will have a moot. I agreed to a moot. I said that I no longer see myself as a High King. And that I would be. I made myself a Grand Duke, basically. A Grand Jarl. My mistake, not Duke.
Did you give him permission to form Skyrim though?
I said that if he won the next moot, he can form it. If he wins,
There wasn't another moot.
then he should hold off and not form Skyrim until there's actually a moot to either confirm his. Yeah.
All right, so overviewing what just happened. The War of Falkreath was successful. We did manage to get the King Hackfield to give up the cursed artifact, the deadric artifact, so he's got a degree of his sanity back, not a lot of it, but a little bit of it, and he's gone back to his old religion, which is good. So the deadric crisis is done. The more complicated political thing that just happened is, I guess, from what High King Thor says, he no longer views himself as the High King, so he doesn't view himself as claiming the High Kingdom of Skyrim. But he said to High King Morgrim that there should be a moot, and there would be a moot for this to happen. Given there's been no moot, I think High King Morgrim is going to, I guess, use this to basically just claim that he's High King in the story. This is all over. So
retain that I was elected in Eastern Skyrim and I only have a right for Eastern Skyrim. I see a point, so.
I'm glad that you do not do this in this manner, but still uncertain about the situation, and such a quick claimant without the widespread.
My reason is quite simple. It's quite obvious that King Grom, a murderer, a flagrant, and a sinner before the gods, is no true king.
I believe he stands here in this hall as we speak. You would say this to the man's face?
Yes, I speak frankly to him, that he's seeing that he is so open to kill, not bound by any laws of man nor the gods, that he's no man to rule Skyrim. This I say truthfully.
Very well. So in that case, do you plan to call a moot, or how are we to proceed, King Morgrim?
Well, let me speak with my court.
Why is this something you would need to debate? Did you not already agree to it?
No, I did not agree.
I was told by High King Thoris himself that you did. Do you call this man a liar?
I may have spoken slightly slyly, seeing that I spoke for moot amongst the true heirs, but he spoke for moot amongst. I said it clearly. He may not be a man who understands laws nor diplomacy, and therefore he misunderstood my point entirely. I spoke clearly, and if he does not understand such things as he himself and his father said it, he...
In that case, I am to report back to King Torag that you will not hold a moot and will instead... Oh man, King Torag just died. He doesn't know that though. I will report back to High King Torag that you, King Torag, that you do not wish to hold a moot. And that you will proclaim yourself only in your Eastern Skyrim holdings for all of Skyrim.
It is where I was elected, and it is where I have my support. It is in East March, in the Pale, Riften, and Bruma. Although, of course,
in that case, you will not seek to take.
I will speak with my allies, and if they agree, for I am bound to them as well as myself. If they agree, then we shall have a moot for all of Skyrim.